everybody, welcome to a very late night draft video. So I am currently waiting to leave for TwitchCon in just a few short hours, but I can't really sleep because I'm leaving in just a couple hours, and if I fall asleep I have a feeling I'm going to miss it. So I was up editing some videos for Newmont Gaming tonight, just some of my own content and some other stuff, and I figured that a good way to stay awake is to continue to draft. So you get an extra bonus episode. Now, this draft, we've got some good options at the start. I like Clan Hero because I do like Skycrag, but I wouldn't want to first pick it here if possible. Two colors is a little bit tough, and it's not always open. I'm not. I don't think Clan Hero is like the big card that is a payoff for Skycrag. It is a good card. Like, the card's good. It's definitely got payoff for being super aggressive, which you want to be in Skycrag, but it's just not the best card. Purify, however, in Praxis is pretty awesome. There's not a lot of removal in this set, and so when you can pick up removal, it's really nice if you can. It is also a fast spell, so you can play it at any time, and of course silencing things is really important, so even if you can't kill a unit with it, it's really good. The other card that I'm thinking about is Avarax Familiar. I really do like the power of Warp. Being able to play things off the top of your deck is huge. Extra power and flying, these are all just fantastic additions to the Avarax. It's a card that looks very unassuming, but it's got a lot of little things going for it that really add up to something pretty awesome. I've definitely been impressed with it. It's not as good at Purify, but the advantage it does have is that it's not in two different colors. So we would not have to go as all in on a certain color just to take the Purify here. So I'm going to take the Purify anyways. It's enough powerful that I think that I want to take it over even the Avarax Familiar. Like, it's just stronger. It's enough of a stronger card that I think it's worth it. Now we have a Blister Sting Wasp, which could be okay. It's not amazing though. I know a lot of people really like Blister Sting, but Blister Sting's not that much better than, say, like a Direfang Spider. Most of the time it's just going to trade. It does have flying, so it can block things a little bit better than the Direfang Spider, which is a pretty big advantage. But it does also put you in two factions. It costs twice as much mana. I mean, 1 to 2 doesn't sound like a big deal, but I mean, it's bigger than it seems. And I don't know. I'm not super impressed with the Blister Sting. It's just not going to end games or anything. If any, it just slows things down and it becomes a road bump. Now we've got Cabal Bludgeoner, which did get an upgrade, so now it's a 3/3, but I don't really want that. Swift Stranger is probably the card that I'm most interested in. I really like the Praxis aggressive deck where you get a lot of tokens and you just try and smash through. Swift Stranger goes in that deck. There's really not a lot of other great cards here, so I'm just going to slam the Swift Stranger. And now we get rewarded. Noble Firemane is a perfect payoff card for that Praxis token list I was talking about. And it's really nice, aggressive, low to the ground. Kind of exactly the type of card that I want. Let's just take that. You might hear a little bit of in the background. That is going to be my cat. 3:30, 4 a.m. is kind of his freak out crazy time. So he's here rubbing on my legs, just enjoying my company. And so you'll have to say hello to Anyang a little bit. Now we've got Alluring Ember is certainly not amazing, but it can be okay. Any of the warp cards are actually more powerful than they look like. Blink Wolf is good. Well, okay. Blink Wolf is not good, but it fits into this deck pretty well. We'll put it that way. It does what you want to do. It's an aggressive card. It gets you value from the warp, and you just kind of want to go wide and smash people with enough little creatures. And Blink Wolf just does that. It's not an amazing card, but it's a decent enough filler. I know that a lot of people are going to want Gun Down, but in the deck that I like to make, the Praxis deck that I really enjoy, I tend to like Blink Wolves over Gun Downs because I just want to keep smashing with aggressive little creatures and not really have to worry about like a really slow, expensive removal spell. So I'm going to take the Blink Wolf. Stone Powder Heretic, Belching Behemoth, and really like nothing else in other colors either. I guess I can take Stone Powder. I've never had a deck that's actually bothered to use it, but I'll take it and we'll see what happens. Ooh, wow. Streetwise Informant is a very good card. It's a pretty big sign that it's still here. So I could take that. I could take Pack Hunt. Pack Hunt, it's not at fast speed, so you can only play it before you attack, which is not particularly great because you let your opponent know that something's happening already. And the +2/+2 sounds like a lot, but like I'd rather have Rally. Rally is a card that I want because you can play that at fast speed, half the cost, and it still has the important pump, which is the +2 to power, which is really what you need in this style of deck. You don't care if your creatures die. You're just going to be trying to kill them with Pack Hunt. You don't need your creatures to live. I might take the Augury because it's going to be easier to splash. Streetwise Informant's a really big sign that that's open, though. I'll still take the Augury. I just don't think that I'm going to be able to switch 2 colors out to an entirely different deck yet. I might be able to play some Xenon cards, though. Now we have Voyaging Lumen, Forge Wolf, and Amethyst Ring. I'm surprisingly okay with a Forge Wolf if we get the right cards for it. Really, we need things like Granite Ring. We do have the Noble Firemane, which does help. I'm going to take the Forge Wolf. Other Spark cards would be really, really good for Forge Wolf. Wow, Mortar is awesome. I could just take that. We could be a Skycrag too instead of taking the Xenon Augury. Striped Arachnodon is also quite nice though, so it's a tough choice here. I'm kind of split. I feel like Mortar coming this late is a really good sign though. I'm going to take it. It's too bad that we couldn't take the Skycrag banner, but with both of those there, it just feels like Skycrag is kind of open. I should just be taking it. Take the Jawbone Hatchet. The other thing is that Forge Wolf turns on a lot of Spark, and a lot of Spark is what exists in Skycrag, not so much in Praxis. Praxis is all about Warp. None of these cards are particularly important. I'll just grab a Bolt Crafter. Crafty Yeti. Alright, Crafty Yeti is a decent card, and I definitely like it in the Skycrag deck. I should have some sound on here, sorry. I had to turn it off earlier for various reasons. Claw of the First Dragon. Play 4 random 1-cost units. I always forget what that one does. I mean, I'm not sure that that's actually useful. 7 is a lot. 4/4 is okay for stats on a relic weapon, but it's not crazy. And the random 4 1-cost units is probably enough, like not enough to swing a game. Could take a Yeti Spy to continue being super aggressive blue-red. I'll take the Claw, though. We'll see what happens. I don't actually care about it being a legendary or not. The people that are like, oh man, you gotta take the legend. I don't care. I have enough cards of all of the sets that I'm not really hard up on needing legends, but I want to just take the best cards so we have the best chance to win. I'll take a Violent Gust here. We might be able to pop off some flyers. I actually really like having 1 or 2 Violent Gusts. Granite Monument's decent. Definitely one of the weaker monuments, but all of the monuments are very powerful. There's also Paladin Oathbook, so I could... Like, the problem is if I want to go Skycrag, I really want to splash Purify and Noble Firemane. If I take the Paladin Oathbook, I'm probably trying to go Skycrag splash Oathbook. And I'm not sure if Oathbook is powerful enough to dump both Firemane and Purify. It might be. It's honestly very possible that it is. The thing is that Granite Monument's actually kind of good. If there wasn't a decent card here, I'd be slamming the Oathbook. I'll still take it. It's just such a powerful card. It's really hard to pass. I might have the option to move a little bit into Justice here. Take a Static Bolt. Valorous Stranger is a thing. There's also the Jotun Hurler. I'm going to take the Jotun Hurler over the Static Bolt. Feels a little bit weird because it is a more expensive card, but Jotun Hurler is just a very powerful card. I'm probably not going to be able to do more than 1 Static Bolt in this deck, so I'm just going to grab that. Polymorph. Polymorph deals with a lot of things. Granite Acolyte's really good for us, actually. I really like the Granite Acolyte. I'm going to take... Man, that's a tough one. I'm going to take the Polymorph. We're kind of moving into a Skycrag deck that's just bigger. I don't even know. Take the Grenadin Drone because that does fill the go wide role, and I'm hoping that I can pick up like a Rally or a Granite Ring or something like that we can just take advantage of this. We do have the Noble Firemane still that I'm probably looking at splashing, but we'll see what happens. Take the drone. Take a Warhelm. Warhelm's not a particularly amazing card. I haven't been super impressed with it. It's Warcry and Charge are good abilities in Constructed when you can be consistently aggressive, but it's hard to get the same kind of aggression in the draft formats. So I'm not super high on Warhelm. Champion of Glory, man, suddenly Rakano has just been really open. There's been a couple packs here that have really wanted us to be Rakano. We started out Praxis, moved into Skycrag. Now we kind of want to be Rakano. This is looking like a bit of a mess. Could take the Ornamental Daggers if I really wanted to stay Praxis. I'm going to take the Warhelm. It's not a great card, but it's decent enough, and I should probably try and stay Fire, because Fire definitely looks like the cards that we're going to be in. Let's take that Rally. That was one of the cards I was asking for, so I should probably have it. There's the Crownwatch Deserter. Cut the Firemane and the Purify. Run the Crownwatch. I could take just Pyre Adept. I think that I might have to do that. Alright, we'll put these back in. I'm still not sure if I want to play Oathbook or if I want to play the Praxis cards. I'm going to take the Pyre Adept, though. It's just more likely to be played simply because of the fact that it's only Fire. I probably need 2s more than I need 3s anyways, and I'm not sure that I can actually go Rakano. Although it was very open here. Is Gorilla Fighter or Renegade Valkyrie? I'd rather have the Gorilla Fighter, although neither one of them is really impressive. A Flamestoker. Well, well, well. Hello there. So Flamestoker is kind of unreal. 5 damage a turn off of it is really tough to deal with. So we're just going to slam that immediately. And it's so hard to deal with not relic weapons, but just relics in the draft environment, because nobody's going to be running Decay or Shattered Glass Mage. Like, those are cards that you just don't really see, and there's not much point in taking them because they're not generally that powerful. Most people don't have things like a Flamestoker, so getting one is just a huge boon to us. We've got a Snowcrest Yeti if we want to stay really aggressive blue, and I think we do. I don't think we want to try and go the Praxis route. It really does look like we need to be a little bit more on the Skycrag side. Or maybe going Rakano. There's a Strength of Many. Strength of Many seems like a really good idea with what we're trying to do here. There's a High Branch Sentry, a Swift Stranger. I want to try and be 2 colors, but it's not letting us. We're getting a lot of split stuff. I hope that you guys can hear him in the background. He's so funny. He's bringing me mice because he wants to get my attention. When I pay attention to him, though, he just kind of wanders off. He doesn't know what he wants. This is his crazy hour. Swift Stranger, Cloud Snake, Hatchling. It sounds weird to put Cloud Snake, Hatchling on the plate here, but if we can find some Spark cards, if we can get Granite Acolytes in the last pack, we really want to have just a lot of early aggression. This is an invasive creature. It can continually get Spark. It can hold weapons really well. Cloud Snake is not an amazing card, but it fits the role that we want it to in this deck. This is so tough. I'm going to take the Swift Stranger, maybe. I'm going to take Swift Stranger. I think that we're a little bit of a slower deck. Not so aggressive that we're going to take the Cloud Snake. Hardy Stranger, not excited about that, but I don't need another 4. I don't think I want Striped Arachnodon. I'll take the Stranger. Now, Huru Stranger. Works with our other strangers, I might as well grab it. There's nothing else here that matters, so makes sense. Torgov, Ice Cap Trader. Whew. And there's a Grenade, which is a really good card with some of the early game cards that we have. The Grenadin Drone, Forge Wolf kind of things. Grenade is a better card, I think, than what people realize. It's not amazing or anything, but there's definitely like some token lists that would want to play Grenade. I tend to see it go really late. Wow, Oasis Seeker is an awesome card. Going very late here. I will still take it. We'll see what happens. And now there's a Minotaur Oathkeeper, but I'm going to take Crafty Yeti. We need that Spark and, ooh, Serpent Mount. Trailblaze, Pit Fighter, and let's grab a bunch of random cards at the end there. Nothing that really matters. Well, I could go back to Praxis. Predatory Carnosaur is insane. There's also Amber Monument, which is very, very good. The problem with the Predatory Carnosaur is I just don't think that we can justify triple time in this deck. No matter what, we're going to end up splashing something. And yeah, considering how many primal cards we have at this point, I don't think that we're going to be able to play triple time. Stone Scar Maul is a thing. I could certainly play Stone Scar Maul. Could take another Rally. Rally number 2 might just be the way to go. I'm going to take a Rally here. Whispering Wind, Fevered Scout, Serpent Trainer. Serpent Trainer is really good. And Stone Scar Stranger. I might want those Whispering Wind. It's early, it's got evasion. It gets us some value by discarding cards that we don't care about. And we can also get the Rally with it. Like, we just want as many little creatures as possible so we can be super aggressive. I'm going to take the Whispering Wind. It also means that we can throw away extra lands that we find. Rebel Illuminator, Seek Power, Herald Song, another Warhelm. I'm thinking we cut out Oathbook, Longhorn, and start looking at this. Flamestoker. I'm going to cut the Claw. It's just a little too slow for what we're trying to do. Purify is probably fine. Whispering Wind is okay. Yeah, looks good. I'd love to get a Stranger that works for time. So Stone Scar Stranger is not exactly what I need. I could take a Seek Power. Could take the Rebel Illuminator. Some tough choices here. Seek Power would make a lot of sense because it gets us the extra time that I want. So I can try and play things like Noble Fire Mane and Oasis Seeker. Rebel Illuminator is the most obviously powerful card. But these cards are kind of key to fixing some of our mana. And just having early game. I'm going to get the Stone Scar Stranger just because we want any creatures at all just to fill the slots. So we can just keep attacking. We have a Gracano Stranger. So these will help us because we can play a slightly lower number of Fire Sigils if we've got enough Strangers that are red. So that does help us a little bit. Even if it doesn't seem like it's fixing for things like time or primal, it does help a bit because we can run less fire and therefore more time or primal. We've got the Wild Cloud Snake, but I don't think I have enough flyers to actually justify that. I mean, I have Whispering Wind and Serpent Mount. Yeah. I mean, I know I was saying that I might even play things like Cloud Snake Hatchling in this deck, but I'm not super excited about it, and we didn't get things like the Granite Acolyte and other cards like that that I really want to have. Ornate Katanas, stuff like that if I'm really trying to do that. No, none of the Spark cards either, which is another big reason to have some of the early flyers, even if they're not super impactful, just to try and trigger Spark. So I'm going to take the Arcano Stranger. Outland Sniper is really solid. I'm going to take that. Bladekin Apprentice. And we have a Tundra Explorer, Wisdom Elders, Granite Acolyte. Well, we're getting the cards that we want finally. I'm going to take the Bladekin because it can snowball out of control really quickly, and I just want as many early game cards as possible. Like, the earlier we are, I think the better the deck gets. Somebody's Awakened student here. Yeah, I'll just take it. There's really nothing else for us, so might as well. Warhelm. Northwind Herald, if I've played 2 spells this turn. Yeah, that's basically never happening. Warhelm is good, though. Ornate Katana versus Granite Monument. Since we might be playing 3 colors, I don't know that I want the Granite Monument. It does make it a little bit tough to have extra factions. And Ornate Katana is good. I do like the Ornate Katana. I have double Warhelm already, so how many equipment can I actually run? That is a legit question here. I'm going to take the Granite Monument. Outrider, Field Captain, and Backlash. Backlash is not going in the deck, by the way. Alright, so Outrider out. We're going to take... what else? Field Captain, definitely not. We have 33, 32, realistically. So we need to cut at least 4 cards, so we have 17 different power. And I probably want to cut some top end, if anything, so that we can justify having only 17, or even 16 if possible. Don't think we can, though, because Flamestoker is just too good to really take the axe here. I think 1 Swift Stranger can definitely come out. Maybe both. I don't want to cut too many units. Violent Gust might be able to come out. And Violent Gust is a fine card to take out, I think. And probably the Trailblaze. And then we can cut one more card and we're good. It might just be Jawbone Hatchet. When you can get the Spark reliably, it's pretty solid, but as we were talking about before, we didn't really get there with it. Oh, never mind. We've got Backlash still in the deck. I forgot to cut that. Easy peasy. Not in love with Jawbone Hatchet in this build. I really would like to have some of those early flyers, but we never got enough Spark to justify that, and we never know then because we didn't get enough flyers, we don't really have enough to justify the Jawbone. They need to kind of go hand in hand. And Jawbone's not one of the best Spark cards. You really want it for like clan heroes and the Cloud Snake Vanguards that gives all your other flyers +1/+0. If you can get a bunch of Cloud Snakes and then you can get the Vanguard, oh, Skyrider Vanguard plus a ton of Cloud Snake hatchlings and other just random flyers like that can be a really nice aggressive deck. But this is okay. It's certainly not amazing. We'll see how it does. Let's add some power. And looks pretty good. Let's hit the games. Actually, wait. I'm going to do this. I've got a little bit of extra fire, and I think we can justify that. It's tough. About half fire, 2-time. Man, this is a heck of a thing. I wish that we had some Praxis Strangers. It'd just make everything so much easier. Could cut the Noble Firemane and the Purify still and go with the Paladin Oathbook still. I'm just not super sold on that. This deck is trying to go wide. It's got things like the Grenadin Drone to try and have a bunch of little creatures that just kind of get rallied. Really different strategies. We don't have enough. We really want the Spark Bots and stuff for this if we're trying to do the double rally. It's tough. Alright, I'm going to go cut Primal. We've got one Primal extra. Well, I don't love the way that our sigils are laid out, but I think that 7-6-3 is just what we have to do. Alright, let's go to round one.